If these budget millions or not, 0 to 50, 100, 300, and all those things, guys, isn't it? So based on the previous data, based on the historical data, whatever the shared by director and producer to the organizations, when we plot this graph, very less movies produced with the budget of 300 millions, isn't it? Yes or not? But if you notice, what is the most movies they produce? What is the millions, guys? 0 to 50. If you share these insights to them, to the client, do you think they understand or not? So what is the next suggestions? The next suggestion is they don't want to produce the movie with high budget, isn't it? Because they can do that, but based on the historical data, in historical data, if they've released most of the budget movies like more than 300, then you get a more graph like this or not? Are you getting my point? So let's talk about, so let's see, you can also find out like, so very less movies between budget of 200 to 300, isn't it, guys? So how many movies? Just go back and I want you to a little bit apply filters here, and I will do a conditions greater than equal to 200 and less than equals to 300. Let's go back and see how many movies, guys, we have. Only 15 movies between 200 to 300 millions movies. Are you understand, guys? Can we make another insights or not? So let's go ahead and another part. I wanted to plot linear model plot between critics rating and audience rating. So once we do this, so this is what type of graph is this? What type of graph is this? Positive correlations, guys, positive correlations. And then this one, critics rating and audience rating, hue genre. I already covered about hue. Right click and okay, by look at this graph, did you find any pattern? The pattern is which genre there is highest audience rating. Did you find any pattern? So we have look at this. Action movies, the blue colors indicates action movies, the yellow indicates adventure, the green indicates comedy, and this one and all those things we have. So now I just want you to ask you guys, so do you find any insights from this graph? For me, I don't find, because there is no genre. There is no genre comedy. But if you say comedy, it spreads across, isn't it? And even though instead of comedy, we have drama as well, we have action as well, we have horror as well, isn't it? So some of the graph doesn't make sense, but let's do this. I just trying to plot, introduce hue in the graph, guys. Understand? Okay, hue equal to genre. Every genre has spread across. That's correct, Yamini. So that's what I said. There is no patterns we found here, isn't it? Now let's go back and we understand this one. Hue genre. Here I changed fit reg false. Here we change fit regressions false and then fit regressions true. Guys, once I get offer letter from my students, I will show to you. I'll invite her so that you can have interact. And they also take sessions of 4.5 months, and sometimes you guys are up and down, so all those things. So she tell you some tips. She's completely non-technical and she get in off as a data analyst, isn't it? So when you understand, you guys get motivated and understand, and you can start preparations based on that, isn't it? Okay, now let's go ahead and do this. Whenever the students get placed, then only I will show you, or else I'm not. Are you understand, team? Because yesterday she posted, I got news, and that's why today I'm showing you, or else I won't. Am I clear or not, guys? Good. Now next talk about this one. This session is very important. My students get jobs and also survive the jobs. Are you getting my point? So here, so let's talk about this one, critics rating and all those things. So I hope understand linear model plot. Everything is clear, guys. Open images, new tab. Now positive correlations or not? Positive correlations again. Let's introduce KDE plot. What is KDE, guys? Kernel density plot. What is meant by KDE? Kernel density plot. So let me tell you, If I joined all the data points, look at this. If I joined all the data points, one moment, is this kernel graph or not? Are you getting me? So here, if I joined all these data points, it looks like a kernel or not, team? So means let's plot it. How exactly yesterday was, what exactly this point, where exactly the point comes from? This data point comes from data set. Data set is nothing but Excel sheets, isn't it? So Excel sheets, whatever the records we have, those records are my data points, guys. How many data points we have? 559 rows, 559 data points, isn't it? So let's head in towards another one. So here, KD plot. I just want to plot the KD plot between two attributes, critics rating and audience rating. Just one moment. Let's plot this and let's see what output I'm going to get now. Right click, open image. Did you see just now I told you or not? So what is meant by kernel? So this is kernel, right? Dense spread is high over this place, isn't it? So that's why this is kernel density plot. What we call, guys, kernel density plot. This is kernel dense. Is the dense is positive linear or not? The dense is positive linear. So here, this is very simple plot we said. And if I little bit expand to the KD plot, look at this. We have a lot of Scott, grid size, cut 3, clip none, legend true. So I don't want you to spend most time on apply these parameters and check the graph of it. Any graph you plot, very important part is anyone can see the graph. There has to be understand in 2 seconds. Are you understand, guys? So that's all about data visualizations, and that's called plot in the graph. That's called plot in the graph, isn't it? So here, so look at this. I want to add a few more parameters. Shade equals to false, shade lowest equals to 2, color map equals to red. And how am I getting all the parameters? I'm getting all the parameters. So scroll down. Do you see we have options called shade false or not? Will you apply all the parameters? Yes, you can. But as I said, this is not important. The parameters, which one you apply, which is not. And let's understand. So here, let's go back and we can execute this program. And do you see any differences between both? See, graph meaning it's same. X-axis critics rating, Y-axis audience rating. But look at the visualizations, isn't it? Look at the visualization. So the outer bound layer is very thin, and this is from low color to dark color, isn't it? From low color to dark color. So which parameters we've been passed here? So here we can say shade lowest equals to true, color map equal to reds. Let me change here. I wanted to change shade to false to true. Shade lowest true to false, and rest of things same. Let's check this, what exactly we're going to get it. Just one moment. Do you understand among two? So we just change true, false, false, true, and we see the differences in the output, isn't it, guys? So kernel density plot, the spreads is very high over this place. So that's why we can. So how do you count it? How do you read this? This is the kernel density plot from this to here. So did you see most of the audience rating is goes high or not? Are you getting my point? Even though critics rating is goes high from 40 to this one. So if I plot this one, this portion is high, guys. Are you getting my point? So high audience ratings and high critics rating we need to be focused on based on historical data. Next, go to the next one. So here I changed red. Now I'm going to change the colors to greens. Just one moment. Team, everybody's clear or not? So here the same things, guys. So here same similar graph we found here in red, and here we found as green. We read here we found as green. Now let's movies.head. What is movies.head, guys? It gives us top 5 rows. Set style dark, KD plot, and let's plot the green color. Okay, K1, one moment. So I'm plot the graph between movies and audience rating. I'm plotting the graph between movies rating, audience rating, and movies, billions of the year. I mean, budget millions in x-axis and y-axis is audience rating. So this is very simple, isn't it? So now what exactly I'm saying? This is all analyze the data in the form of packages, which is Matplotlib, Seaborn, NumPy, and Pandas. We try to work some of the projects, guys. And this things doesn't have any theory. Are you understand? These things, we don't have any theories for these concepts. So that's why I'll give you a lot of tasks whenever you time, please work on it. I'll explain some things. There is, now let's plot this one, budget millions and audience rating, KD plot. Okay, this is the graph we're getting. Now let's plot the bivariate, budget millions and critics rating. It's very simple code or not, guys? Very simple code. So how we get this SNS is Seaborn. I create an identifiers, and then KD plot is the name of the visualizations technique, KD plot, LM plot, dist plot, and box plot, and whisker plot. There are many plots we have. I'll give you one practical, and then everything you guys can understand. Am I clear or not? See, let me tell you, especially for offline team, whenever you are going to lab for practice, so whatever the time you spend over there, please spend the work which I am assigning you. Are you understand? Do not look for what he's doing, what she's doing. So it's none of your business. Are you clear or not? Are you understanding? So let's say this guy, maybe he talk a lot, ignore him. Are you getting my point? So every day I'm showing the offer. Does he showing offer or I'm showing offers? I'm showing offers. You are learning under me, not him. Am I clear or not? So go practice and get out of the lab. That's it. Am I clear or not? Don't do a lot of time pass over there. Don't focus here and there. Concentrate to your work and let it go. If you have laptop, you can also practice from anywhere. It's not like that. Getting my point, guys? Okay. Do you see we have any outliers over here? If I plot critics rating in budget millions, we have two outliers. Okay, the critics rating spreading from 0 to 100, and we found two outliers. Guys, are you understand? What is figure dot size? So let's talk till now, what we done, we plot only one graph. Till now, we plot only one graph. Now, little bit introductions on subplot. What we called as subplot. In school days, do you remember we learned like 0, 0. What is mean by that? Or might be I can say that I hope geography 1, 1. So one row and one column. Can I say this? One row and 1, 2. One row, two column. Are you getting my point? Is this plot or subplot? Subplot. So let's make it how I make the data to the subplots. And what is the requirement? The requirement is I have to give suggestions to the client that which categories you need to invest the money to gain more profit. So here there is a things called f comma axis plt dot subplot 1 row 2 column figure sizes 10 comma 4, 10 height 4 width. What happened, guys? 1 row 2 column, isn't it? Is it a subplot or not? Is it a subplot or not? Now here let's talk this f comma axis and plt is 3 comma 3. What is output, guys? How many metrics I'm going to print here? 3 rows and 3 columns, isn't it? Let's go ahead and we check this. Just wait. 3 rows and 3 columns. Are you understand? This is called subplot. Now, what is the benefit of the subplot? The benefit of the subplot is rather than I can plot every graph in one plot, I can plot this is one part, this is one graph, this is one graph, this is one graph. Can we plot 6 graph in one and we create a dashboard and we create a dashboard? You know, let's say In organizations, let me talk about, there is a company called Reebok. Reebok shoes items sale in China, India, Hong Kong, and all those things. Now, if I represent all the sale in one sheet, then what, guys, I hope understand or not. So this is called, we called, you need to assign two variables, guys. Okay, if you don't mention assign F, then I hope you can also remove this. Okay, correct. No, still you're getting, it's not like that. Even though you can remove F, you can get this. Are you understand? So I'm just given axis. AX means axis, 3 into 3 dimensions. Understand what then? It's not mandatory. So I think I can also remove it. Clear? Great. Awesome. Good. So now let's talk about this one. So here, let's remove this now. Subplots, 1 row, 2 columns. What is 1 comma 2, guys? 1 row, 2 columns. So let's assume I will make 2 identifier. This is K1, this is K2. So let's create a K1 here. Let's create a K2 here. In the K1, KD plot between budget millions and audience rating. X is 0 means row or column, guys? X is 0 means rows or columns? Rows. X is 1 means columns. X is 1 means columns. So let's go back. So here, this graph will understand X is 0 and this graph will understand column. So when we plot, so how many graph we'll get here in output? Did you see we get output, guys? What exactly happened? Figure object has no attribute plot. So that's why you need to pass f dot axis. Now let's have it, like, look at it. Here you get output, but here you need to pass 2 variables, guys. Just wait for some time. Are you understand or not? So right click and open image, new tab. So 2 graph, rather than I write 2 lines or 3 lines, I can make it combine all the 2 graph. So the analysis of the visualization is more in depth if you plot subplots, guys. If you plot subplots, this is X is 1 or 0? X is 0. This is X is 1. So rows and columns part. I hope understand, team. I hope understand. Now let's close this one. And I'm going to go ahead to this part as well. Movies. Total data frame or not? Let's introduce to box plot, sns.box plot, genre and critics rating. So what I'm going to do, let's open the graph here and I'm filter out. So here, what is genre? We have, this is genre. Let's come back to the point. The point is we need to give a suggestions to the client, which categories client need to invest the money or release the money, isn't it? Or produce the movie. And genre along with which one, guys? Critics rating. So let's this 2 attributes. Let me go ahead and I want to plot a box plot among 2 variables and open images, new tab. Awesome graph or not? So awesome graph. Now look at this. In genre, how many categories we have? In genre, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many categories? So now let's go back to the plot. We get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, isn't it? I already covered this last week. Anybody tell me, where did you see the lowest critics rating? Which genre you found lowest critics rating? Which genre, team? Horror movie has lowest critics rating or not? Which genre has highest average critics rating? Which genre has highest average critics rating? Thriller movies, guys. Highest average. I'm talking about, this is the average line. Are you understand what I'm saying? Highest average. So did you see, if I compared this one, this is very high or not? So the highest average critics rating is thriller. Where did you see highest rating, guys? Highest critics rating. Which genre has highest critics rating? Drama. It's similar like comedy. Drama and comedy both. Can we say this, team? Can we say this? Very good. I hope understand, guys. So This is called box plot. We created a box. Did you have any outliers here? No, we don't find any outliers. Now, I hope understand what's box plot, guys. Now let's introduce to another plot called violin plot. I will introduce once and then I'll give you some assignments to do this, guys. Everyone is clear? So here, violin plot. What is meant by violin plot? It looks, you get the graph like violin, the same one that represents same things is, yes, Prasanna, I'll talk to you. Any question? Unmute you. Oh, can we discuss it last? No worries. Okay. Yeah. So here, violin plot means it looks like a violin. What is the difference among this graph and this graph? Look at this graph, guys. These graphs are, just one moment, a bit. So if you notice this, box plot, violin plot have same meaning, but violin plot is more fantastic when you look at the average points, guys. Did you see this line wherever we found, we get a dot points or dot products we have, guys, here. Am I clear or not? This is called, this graph looks like a violin or not? So that's why this is called violin plot analysis. So we can visualize the data with these plots. But have you ever seen these plots on? No, matplotlib is not possible, Nitish, because this is advanced visualizations. Matplotlib not understand. Yes. Have you ever seen this graph in IPL matches? No. Have you ever, what type of graph you find out in stock market? I hope you guys are stock market or not. Kite app, many apps we have. And what type of graphs you can find? Did you see this graph like line bar, candle bar? We can get from violin. What inferences we can see? I will tell you, I said these are the graphs we have. Understand? I'm not saying you will use this graph largely. Are you getting my point? So but understand what exactly candlesticks, bar sticks, and you get to see this type of sticks as well. Am I correct or not? In stock market, you will get this type of sticks or not? Linear model plot, regressions graph. Are we get this? In IPL predictive, in football players, data analysis, we have what linear regressions lines or not? The graph, which is very easy to understand to the customers, to the viewer, please use that one. Am I clear, guys? But when you speak to the client, you talk all hi-fi terms, guys. Am I clear or not? When you visualize, it would be make sense. Now, this is what we have multiple graphs or not. Now let's talk about. So here, I wanted to plot the box plot only drama categories movies. How many categories? So we have action, adventures, comedy, drama, horror, romance, thriller. X6 is year, Y-X is audience rating. So once you check this out, open images, a new tab. So in the drama category movies, listen to me, might be the graph looks maybe you familiar before, but I wanted to tell you the insights of it, guys. Am I clear or not? So here, this is historical data or not? Historical data means the data spreads from 2007 to 2011. And from these 5 years historical data, we have audience ratings across. But if you notice in 2010, there are two movies we have very, very lowest audience rating, isn't it? Guys, are you getting my point? So if you see in 2007, there is highest average audience rating, and then the next highest is 2011. You understand? So I'm trying to analyze using one genre. Can you analyze multiple genre or not? You can copy and you can apply actions, you can apply adventure, you can apply horror, and you can do this, guys. Am I correct or not? When you go to the lab, please practice these things and you can understand. Today, I am going to introduce so what are the plots we covered now? LM plot, then this plot, then box plot, then what else, guys? What? This his plot. The histogram, right? Histogram also we covered. And then we covered joint plot. What else? And we covered KDE, kernel density. And then we covered violin plot. See, I'm not going to explain every day as I'm explaining first time. So please understand this one. Am I correct? Violin plot. Anything missing? What else, guys? So when you prepare a data analysis resume, I would highly appreciate, please mention these plots in your resume. Are you getting my point? You mentions one point in the resume, just worked on various plotting technique using Seaborn, Matplotlib, okay, and bracket, mention all the plots in the resume. Are you understand or not? And using the graph, I'm trying to give in the insights and suggestions of my business. That statement, it definitely impact a lot to the one who takes interview for you. Am I clear, guys, what I'm trying to say? Even though you're experienced, even though you're fresh, if you experience, you can explain the how much shares and how much company gaining by look at this work and what insights, and you can say found a various insights, okay, to understand in depth of the business use case of the business use case. Please prepare the resume on this type of statements, guys. Am I clear or not? Are you guys understand? And in this one, analyst, data visualizations techniques, you called subplot, LM plot, this plot, box plot, joint plot, reg plot, regressions plot. Are you getting my point? All those things, guys. Then only, and then let's introduce last part, which is called facet grid. What we call, guys? Facet grid. So what exactly mean by facet grid? Movies. This is the data frame which holds the entire data set or not? Great. Row, genre, column, year. Row is genre, column is year, hue genre. So let's talk about what is, how many rows we have genre, how many genre, 7 genre we have. How many column we have, year part? 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 into 5, 35 subplots I will get right now. How many graph I'm going to get, guys? 35. And what is the solutions we need to give it to them? Being a developer, being an analyst, you have to suggest to the manager stating, in from the past historical data, we have 7 genre. Out of 7 genre, which genre a client, a director, a producer need to spend money? Are you understand? Let's go ahead and find out the solutions for that. So here, open images, new tab. So let me close rest of them. Okay. So this one, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, x-axis is year 2007, 2008, 9, 10, 11. Are you getting me or not? Now this is called facet grid. So next one, in the facet grid. Okay. Now let's say scatter, dot scatter, guys. What type of plot I'll get? Scatter plot or not? Now I want you to plot. Look at this, guys. Let's combine this code and this code. Means what exactly happened? These scatter plot will map into all the respective locations, guys. Are you understand? So here, let me talk about this one. So assume the data spreads from 2007. So assume this is 2007 column, right? Assume this is action movie. 2007, whatever action movies we have, the data plot here. 2008, whatever action movies, the data plot here. This plot belongs to only the specific year. So there is a functions called dot map. So once, just copy this and you can check this out now. We know this, see, facet grid just now I explained or not? Now, Let's copy this one, and I wanted G equal to G dot map. What functions, guys? Apply a plotting functions to each facet subset of the data. That's the functionalities of the map. So here it will take some time. Just wait for some time. We can find out. It will take some time, guys. So now in the meantime, I will give you another data sets to practice, and I will give you matplotlib, seaborn, all these things as well. So here, just one moment. Let's wait for some time. And I have one of the matplotlib views for visualizations or advanced visualizations, guys. Visualizations, right? So iris data set. One moment, I have ED. I will give you matplotlib and then seaborn. So I'll give you two tasks. All right, just one moment. I will share this notebook to you and I'll post the data set. Please work, and only one time practice on the visuals. Then we're heading toward SQL, guys. Okay. So why SQL is required to become for a data scientist? Why SQL is required? So seaborn library, this is matplotlib library. One moment. Okay, so let's wait. Let me complete this one. Now we got this graph. Right click and open images Newton. Guys, listen to me now. So here I will share the regex list. It's, you can find out in LinkedIn, guys. I'll share those documents. Okay. So look at this graph. If you see this one, I have 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 years data or not? And in 2007 audience rating, in 2007 to 11 audience rating, x-axis is year, y-axis is audience rating. But this is action movies, this is adventure movies, this is comedy movies, this is, I mean, drama movies. And if you scroll down, we have all the categories movies, guys. I want you to understand, I want to compare these data point spreads. Means most of the audience are watch action movies on 2007, yes or no? Guys, are you understand? The data point spreads means, do you see the dense is there? Means the data point spreads means people are watch audience, which categories movies? Action categories movies, guys. And all this, what type of correlation is this? Positive correlations or not? Now, can we suggest to client stating you can go ahead for action movies or not? Yes or not, team? Because in the historical data, when we analyze all the data set, I found most people everybody wanted to watch action movies. So the data spreads a lot towards linear trend. Now, if we talk about adventure movie, what is the spread ratio? Very less or not? In 2007, only 2 customers, they wanted to watch this adventure movie. Compared to actions and adventures, which one you need to consider, which one you no need to consider, guys? Offline team and online team as well. Action we considered, and adventure can we considered? No. Why? Because the history says very less audiences, they watch which movies? Adventure movies. So how many categories we have? Out of 7 categories, we minus 1 category or not? Guys, online team, are you getting my point or not? Let's go ahead to another one. What about this one? Comedy. Can we consider it? Yes. What about this drama? Can we consider it? Yes. Very good, guys. And what about horror movies? Can we consider it? Yes, because I do see some of the audiences, they keep watch the movies, even though dense is low, but still we have some count, we have some numbers, we can see this between the historical data. What about this one? Romance movie? No, because no one watched at 2008 and just one customers, one audience in 2009. So it's better based on the historical data. I can remove it. And what about this thriller movies? Can we consider it? Can we consider it, guys? So here, based on historical data among two variable like genre versus year, if you plot scatter plot, so the inside, how many movies we have? Like adventure, and then actions, then thriller, comedy, drama, anything else, guys? Actions, drama, thrillers, and romance. Okay. Just so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I missed one thing. Horror movies. Yeah. So out of 7 category, so what we eliminate now? Actions we considered. What else, guys? Just no, we can eliminate. Just go back to the actions, comedy, drama. So let me write down this one. Action, comedy, drama, and then what else, guys? Horror also we considered. And then now rest of things we ignore. So out of the 7 categories, are we eliminate 3 or not? What is the next suggestions? Now, can you give these suggestions or not to the client? Now, I want you to send this graph to managers. I want you to send this graph to be managers, and they can you say, based on this data, another data might be analysis is different. Are you guys understand or not? Based on this data, what I plotted, based you just give a suggestions, you're not conformed, you are a developer, you develop the graph. Are you getting my point? And decisions taken by leaders, decisions taken by managers, decisions taken by the people. Are you understand or not? Am I clear, guys? We just develop it. We not a solutions maker. We develop the graph, we send it. This is as per my analysis, as per the data analysis, as per the historical data analysis. You explain what it states. Now, when you represent this graph, and definitely he will quite satisfy because this data, this graph comes from the data set, guys. And that data set comes from the client. Are you understand? And that client collects the data from the genuine reality it happened. If I predict in next season how many umbrella sales, I'll give you an example. In next year, how many umbrella sales, those predictions will happen based on the 5 years historical data or not? Let's say, are you getting my point, guys? The same thing. So here, what we could do, let's talk about this one. And when we send these reports to this client, they will say, no, I don't want you to spend all this one. You give me only one categories I will spend. Now he will say, I trust you, give me one categories, less interest. That's correct, right, IVD? Understand, guys? So here, what is the next action plan? I just want you to plot. End of the story is salary. Money speaks in the world. Am I correct or not? We work in organizations for salary. Everything's people are spending, do lot of business, lot of stock marketing. Isn't it? Money speaks in the world, guys, in my dictionary. So here, let's plot facet grid movies and huge genre budget millions. I wanted to plot the budget millions. And once you plot, you get to know which are the budgets. I mean, you gaining more, and we see the graph. In the graph, what we need to consider? Normal distributions, guys. We need to consider normal distributions. Just one moment. Let's wait for it. And before that, and we come back to the solutions and we give you solutions, and I'll send this one, you can work on it. What is meant by dashboard? Dashboard means collections of sheet, isn't it? And we studied in school days, like if I make the graph into 4 quadrant, so this is 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, isn't it? Yes or not, guys? And if I make another row, I can say 3, 1 and 3, 2. Can we say this, guys? So I'll make a 4 objects like K1, K2, K3, K4. If I combine everything, can we create a dashboards or not? Can we create a dashboards or not, guys? So here, let's close this. I'll get another one. Look at this, guys. Based on the graph, we no need to consider like adventures we not considered because we take that out from the previous analysis. Now, which one, how many movies we have actions, comedy? But if I compare to actions, comedy, did you see the budget millions on actions is very good or not? Look at the plot, excellent plot. But if I go back to the comedy, okay, we have less or not team. Sorry, this is one comedy. Still, we get see data points means some of the people are mostly watch these movies and but scroll down. What about others, guys? In horror movies, very less or not? Budget millions, and then in thriller, anyway we gone. So out of that, what is the analysis you can finalize, guys, from this graph? So what you suggest? So based on the graph represents, you can invest on either action category or comedy category. This is the insight. And which one you will choose, you take a decisions. Are you understand? But if you ask me, then my suggestion go to action categories. If my guys, are you understand or not? And finally, this is the way we just given the final reports to the client, and next step they will come back to you. Next step they will come back to you, guys. Everybody's clear, online team? So here I wanted to make a final graph here. So here I will talk about K1 plot 0, 0, and in this one Python index begins with 0, not, guys. So we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So let's do, I can create a 4 quadrants, K1, K2, look at the plot 0, 0 plot this graphs between budget millions and audience rating. And once we subplot this, let's do this, guys. Just one moment. We can find out this fantastic graph and which we get a dashboards to this, guys. Just wait for some time. Okay. So what we done right now, we done one projects called IMDb rating, IMDb movie data analysis. Do you understand? And last projects we was done IMDb rating analysis, guys. Am I clear or not? Go back and we get the graph. We plot the graph or not, guys? We plot this graph. Will you do it? Online team, offline team, will you do it or not? Let's close. Let's close. And I want you to make one PPT for this, if possible. If possible, I want you to make the PPT and plot all the graph and make your insights points, and then you can follow it, guys. I understand. If the data is too big, I want you to work with the Tableau. If the data is too big, because just one moment, I think I close it. You will need to implement on Tableau Power BI, understand, or Tableau. So I would rather than Tableau would be the excellent tool because it handles big data. Power BI doesn't handles big data. I will explain all those things, guys. Now, next step. So EDA projects, I gave like raw data to clean data. Did you got the file yesterday? Yes, team. Raw data to clean data. This is what we done. And then we done with IMDb movie, or rating analysis. All right, guys. Now let's go back and understand this one. So let's talk about this one. Okay, so today, most of the students, the one who learned in data science, everybody practice this data set. What is the data set, guys? Iris analysis. What is iris? Iris is one of the flower. I'll show you. This is the flower, guys. You understand? So this is the flower. So this is the center point So we have few leaves, isn't it? So look at this from center point. This is sepal. This is called petal. Are you understand, guys? This is called sepal. This is called petal. From the center to here, we count. So did you see one part length is high, one is width? And from this origin, this is length, the petal width, sepal length, and sepal width. Sepal length is greater than petal length, isn't it? And sepal width is greater than petal width, isn't it? So in the world, if you considered any of the flower, the different versions flowers we have, isn't it? When we any type of fruits, flowers, the different flowers. I mean, we have some set of now. Assume I'll create a data set of this flower, and this data set's called iris flower data set. You understand? Any data scientist, the one who learn it, so you have to must practice this, guys. Am I getting? Are you? I hope you're clear. Now let's open one of the data sets right now, iris.csv. Okay, right. So we have three species, Iris setosa, Iris versicolor, Iris virginica. I mean, the category of the flower. Do you see we have variety of mango fruits or not? I hope you heard the names. The same way, flowers also, we have some variety of the flowers, and one of them are setosa, one of them are versicolor, and one of them are virginica. And I have few IDs, means how many flowers we have? 150 flowers we have. Are you getting my point? And what are the columns? Sepal length, sepal width. Do you know this or not? This flower, sepal length is 5.1, 3.5. Petal length is 1.4. Petal width is 0.2. So now we have all the breeds. I mean, we have all the flowers here, guys. Are you getting me? So let's talk about this one. And you need to analyze this data sets in the form of visualizations. That's the task. That is the task. There is very simple. You understand the business, you understand the flower, you understand the data set. Now I will give you this work. I highly appreciate the one who work every day with dedications. I really appreciate you got to see the results, not now, at the end. Are you guys understand? When you plant a seed, it takes some time to get a fruits or not. Am I clear? So what we do right now, we just plant the seed, guys, with the help of these packages. You need to wait for 4 months to get the results. And what is the results? This is what results, guys. Thank you so much for your support, sir. So did you see? And this is the result. Are you getting me or not? Everybody's clear? Now here, just one moment. I can show this iris dataset visualizations. I will share this notebook. In the notebook, once you practice this one, look at this. Displaying data. Headers also given. Bar plot, isn't it? Right click. Are we get the bar plot or not? Setosa, what is that? So how many count we have? Total how many rows, guys? 150. So 150, Setosa 50 count, versicolor flow 50, and all are 50-50, all counts are same or not? You understand that? If I show you the graph, then only you understand, or else you not understand by look at the Excel sheets. Am I getting my point, guys? Now let's go ahead to the another one. Joint plots. Are we covered joint plot or not? Did you see what kind of graph is this? Positive, negative, or no correlation? No correlations, isn't it? Just go back. And this is called negative. Understand or not? And hexagonal. I told you in the class or not? Hexagonal plot. Facet grid. Did you see all the facet grid we have? Because we have 3 species. So now let's talk about this one. So this is facet grid or not? Sepal length, sepal width. I want you to a little bit work on this, guys. I hope understand. And then box plot or whisker plot. Do you see? Is this box plot, guys? Is this box plot or not? One thing I just highlighted. So whenever you practice any of the analysis, Please keep Excel or data set open. Understand, guys? And when you code, please review the Excel sheets and then understand the visualizations. Concept is very clear. Am I clear, guys? Now, next, go back to another one. Let's do this box plots and then stripe plot. Did you see we have stripe plot or not? X-axis pieces, separating data iris, jitter true, edge color gray, size 8, palette, winter, and orient V. In interview, nobody asks, can you please write the strip plot, all those things. Am I clear or not? So, but you got to know how to written this. Let's combining box and stripe plot. So if I combine box, did you see the scatter plots or stripe plots are overlap with the box plots or not? The next one, what is the next one? There is no if else loop, for loop, while loop, functions, constructor, nothing. Very simple, guys. Use common sense and spend time. That's it. That's what, even though in MBA, they introduce AI. Are you getting my point, guys? In supply chain, they'll introduce AI. In oil gas manufacturing industry, they'll implement AI. Trust me, what I'm saying might be you not ever, but you get to know later part of the things, guys. So now violin plot, just now I covered, isn't it? It looks like a violin or not, team? Now scroll down and then here pair plot, and then let's go back and heat map. Okay, now I think Yamini, you was talk about heat map, right? I said when the time comes, I'll show you. So for univariate analysis, how many graph, guys? How many variables? One variable. For bivariate, how many variable? For multivariable, we have a concept called heat map. Now right click and open images, new tab. So when you see this heat map, what is the correlations, guys? What is the range of the correlation? What is the range of the correlations? -1 to 1, isn't it? Look at this, -1 to 1, isn't it? Look at the bar spreading from -1, -75, -50, -25, 1. 0 to 1 means positive correlations or not? That means if the data point get these colors, that means highest correlations. Are you getting my point or not? Remember one important point here. You see the diagonal 1, 1, 1, 1. Do you get a diagonal or not? Are you getting my point? So all these attributes are very, very important to build the model. So sepal length and sepal length correlation is 1. Which one you not considered? -0.1 you not considered. Are you getting my point? -1 you not considered. You haven't seen anywhere in the -1, guys. So whenever you plot heat map, let me tell you, you must see, you will get the diagonal like this, or else you do not consider the attribute. Do you see this, guys? What I'm saying? Team, are you understand or not? Now let's little bit show some more importance. Just go here and I can say that as heat map. Just 1 second. Just go to images. Let's clear everything. Do you find any diagonals here? Do you see any diagonals here, guys? No. But here, this one means which one you need to consider, which one no need to consider is very important, team. Okay, guys. So when you work in most of organizations, you may get, you may not get. If you not get, you have to make the graph into graph like this. This is called heat map, team. The next one, distributions plot. The next one, swarm plot. The next one, we have like LM plot, linear model plot. The next one, facet grid. The next one, factor plot. How many plot, guys? Factor plot. Now my question is, whatever I'm explaining, did you see in real time? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Where do you see in real time? IPL, cricket matches, football analysis, stock market. Okay. I'm in weather forecasting. Are you guys see this graph or not? So who will build the graph? Some of the analysts or not? In ESPN Star Sports, they do have job opening for data analysts. Do you know this, guys? The one who done IITs, you can also apply to there. Very simple. It's not a big thing. Everything is possible. Data analyst in government sector also it is applicable. In Facebook and Flipkart, in Big Billion Day, you see the graph. Have you opened it? Okay. So please, many places you can implement this graph. That's what this course is. We've just provided you. So when you practice, I'm going to share this, please, team. So I'll share all the details data along with the data set. Please practice and complete, make a PPT, and you can share with me. And tomorrow I will give you a little bit, I'll give you task on matplotlib seaborn. Just one task. I'm not giving you much. Just complete data analysis part is clear with the help of NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn. In data analysis, I combined with EDA. So that's what I said. If you want to become a data analyst, you need to choose few technical like Python, EDA, Tableau, SQL, Excel. Then you are eligible for data analyst role. Are you understand? What is linear trend? What is non-linear trend? All those things we covered here, guys. Am I clear or not? Before you understand the data, first you understand the business as well. So then you become a business analyst. First business analyst, then data analyst, then you become a data scientist. So we'll complete one by one, and then we're heading toward model building in machine learning. Clear? Thank you so much. And yeah, so please join on time. I'm sorry, guys, due to some of the issues. I will. So tomorrow I'll be logging on time. No need to worry. So you two log in on time, guys. Clear? Thank you and have a good day. Bye.